picks good projects.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 60% of having a career like that.
Yeah. I read in
Bill
the
Murray's
Sting,
like that
Bill
too.
Murray will do nothing. And you know another great thing about Bill Murray that I think was smart? He doesn't get work done. Like he doesn't get plastic surgery.
Mm.
So his face looks super authentic.
Yeah.
And you would think an actor would want that, like those lines, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That you could use that. Because I remember at the end of his life, Jackie Gleason got a facelift.
Yeah.
And it looked like, it was like, why wouldn't you want to use your old face? That would be super funny, you know? Instead of because you're not a leading man.
Yeah.
You know? So that's what I think about Bill Murray. Everybody else gets ridiculous work done that makes them look young, and then Bill Murray gets to look like an authentic act. Plus, he's a great actor. It's amazing that he took that route. You know, he did Razor's Edge, which was awful.
Oh yeah,
but still was daring.
Yep.
Project, and I guess he just had all this money from Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
And so he did the exact opposite of Dan Aykroyd. It was always funny, like
Dan just kept chasing the big movies. Yeah. And then he did that crazy sitcom where he was a priest. And you're like, what happened here?
I was, they sent me, they wanted me to do a thing on the show.
Oh, yeah.
On that show. It was one of those, cool priests, you know, and he drove a Harley and stuff. Like that really exists, you know? And so anyways, they sent me the thing. He's like, it's a really funny part, you know, Norm. And I'm like, well, I'll just do it, you know, because you're asking me because you're the greatest. And then I got the script, and all I did was I was looking through the telescope, and I said, oh, I can see Uranus. And then he goes, you can? And he like pulls. Like he pulls his pants, and I'm like, oh no, I don't want to say that. So I had to like lie my way out of it to get out of this awful joke. But he told me it was like great. One time when I had my sitcom, the showrunner goes, why don't we have a big star every week do the cold opening? And I go, oh sure, yeah. And he goes, you can get big stars, right? I'm like, no, I can't get anyone. And he goes, but you know Sandler. I go, I'm not going to ask Sandler, you know, like, and then I told my agent, I said, don't ask Sandler, because the showrunner kept phoning my agent. I go, because I don't want to like blow a favor. I know he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it, and then he's going to think like I asked him for a favor. You know what I mean, kind of thing. So, you know, anyways, a few weeks later, my manager goes, oh, by the way, Sandler said he doesn't want to do it. I'm like, oh my God, I told you not to.
Yeah.
And then they said, one week, they go, we got Eddie Murphy on the phone. I'm like, why? What? And they're like, yeah, for the cold opening. And I go, what cold opening? And so they hand me this script, you know. So I'm talking to Eddie Murphy, and I don't know Eddie Murphy. And he's being like super Zen-like, you know. He's an amazing guy because he's like all Zen and peaceful. And then he tells a story, and it's hysterical. Like all of a sudden he's doing voices. Because he was talking about being a director, and he goes real peacefully, you know. He was like, the directors in Hollywood are very tough to find one. Frank Oz was magnificent, but I was very unhappy with the other directors. Finally, I had to direct myself. I directed Harlem Nights, and the Red Fox was in it. And so Red Fox came to the show once, and he was having trouble with the IRS, and he owed all this money. So he kept trying to sell me things. And he would come to the set, and he would go. And then all of a sudden, he's super funny, right? After doing this real flat voice. And he goes, and then Red Fox would say, hey, Eddie, you like Elvis? I got Elvis's watch. How'd you like to buy Elvis's watch? Elvis, give me this watch. So I said to him, hey, Red, how long have you had Elvis's watch? He said, I had it for 40 years. I go, that's not Elvis's watch. That's Red Fox's watch. I ain't buying Red Fox's fucking watch. So he's like super funny. And then he go back again to be Zen-like. So I said, so as I'm talking to him, I'm leafing through this fucking awful fucking shit of a cold opening that they're having him do. And so it's like, you know, white guys writing for black guys, what they think they'd say. It's just awfully, horribly racist. And so he says to me, he goes, I'll do it. You know, if you tell me it's funny, I'll do it. And I go, it's not funny.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know what else to do. We got on the show though. We got Richard Pryor. Yes, Richard Pryor. His last appearance everywhere.
No shit.
Was on my television show.
Wow.
And big mistake. Like he showed up. He's in his last stages of MS.
Yeah.
And everyone was crying. Because you look, his eyes. He would do that fear look even when he was acting and stuff. And when he was doing his stand up. That's what he was like. It was just pure fear. It's like he's locked in the side, like begging to get out somehow. And it's so hard to watch.
Right.
So, and then his wife, she goes, listen, he's really nervous. Would you go up and tell him you love him, hug him, kiss him? I go, hug him and kiss him? He goes, yeah, you can show him affection. He's very fragile. So I go up and I hug him and I kiss him. I go, you're the greatest ever. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to. But it's just great that you're here and this stuff like that. And then there's like two big black guys that are there, And one of the big black guys, like about 15 minutes later, goes, Richie thinks you're a faggot. So everybody's comic hero. And I'm like sexually molesting him pretty well. Because of his